Hello and welcome to Insight AI Brief Gaming. Today we're talking about the Black Desert patch update for September 25, 2025. Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe. Now, if you've been looking for maybe a sign to jump back into Black Desert Online, or if you're trying to finally break into that endgame scene, this massive September 25th patch, it's basically giving you the green light. We've gone through the pretty dense stack of patch notes, all the event announcements for this update, and our mission today is really to boil it down. What does this actually mean for you? Whether you're a vet, keeping an eye on those PvP changes, or maybe you're new or returning, wondering how to skip some of that mid-game grind.
Yeah, look, this update is it's one of the most significant we've seen in a while, specifically focused on velocity, on speed. The whole patch really revolves around, I'd say, three main pillars. First, you've got this unprecedented, accelerated character growth, mostly through the new Season V. Second, there's just a staggering amount of rewards, especially geared towards enhancing and helping out guilds. And third, a really deep overhaul of PvP class balance. They're trying to stabilize the battlefield.
All right, let's dig into that first pillar then, the acceleration. Season V is live now, running until December 18th. And it starts with something, well, pretty game-altering right off the bat. What's that immediate hook for hitting level 60 on a season character?
It's straight up high-end gear access. I mean, the moment you hit level 60 on that season character, you go to the challenge tab, that's why, and claim 2 PENV boss armor pieces.
Just like that.
Just like that. It is family limited, so 1 reward per account, basically.
Yeah.
But still, that's a massive jump in your defensive power right away. For someone coming back, I mean, that just cuts out so much enhancement stress.
Definitely takes the pressure off. Okay, and beyond that initial handout, how's the season pass itself? They mentioned streamlining it. Is it actually easier to progress through?
It is, yeah. It feels much less convoluted this time. It seems designed to be completed just by playing the game normally, doing the usual loops. But the key thing is the value of the rewards you get along the way. Right. Specifically, those season journey tokens. These are your currency for some really high-value exchanges. We're talking bundles of Kron stones, big stacks of Valk's advice, like up to plus 120, and also the Floramos accessories. Those are excellent starting points for endgame jewelry.
And I saw they baked in some permanent QO items too, which is always nice. Things like inventory slots.
Exactly. Inventory slots and those permanent fairy maids, one for warehouse, one for the marketplace transaction stuff. Super useful.
Yeah, those are always welcome. No more juggling maids.
Right. These used to be things you really had to work for or buy. Now they're just part of the season baseline.
Yeah.
But honestly, the biggest gear story here might be Pukar's support. This is aimed right at players who've already graduated from a previous season.
Ah, okay. Trying to bring older players up to speed.
Precisely. It's their attempt to bridge that gap between, your old Pen Tuvala gear that's maybe collecting dust and the actual modern endgame stuff.
So tell me about this Tuvala X. We've seen catch-up mechanics before. How does this one work, and what kind of gear does it actually get you in the end?
Okay, so Tuvala X, or 10th, is like a temporary super upgrade for your existing PENV Tuvala gear. You get this item called Jump Flow Water. There are different kinds for weapons, armor, accessories from doing quests given by Tukar.
Okay.
You use this water to enhance your old PN Tuvala up to this Tuvala X state. It's like an interim step. The real payoff happens when you trade in that maxed out Tuvala X gear.
And what do you get for it?
That's the kicker. You trade it in, and you get to choose a PENV, God-Eyed Main Weapon, choice of type, obviously, and 1 piece of the Ancient Power Armor Tranquil set. Helm, armor, gloves, or boots, you pick one.
Hold on, let's put that into perspective. PE God-Eyed. That's basically just one step below the absolute best weapon in the game, right? And the Ancient Power Armor.
Yeah, God-Eyed is top here. And the Ancient Power Armor Tranquil pieces are, think of them like really well-statted base PEN boss gear, or maybe even a bit better in some ways. They have huge foundational stats. This isn't just a little boost.
No kidding. That sounds like it skips months, maybe even years of grinding and enhancement RNG. Is there a catch? Like, is getting that Jump Flow Water a massive grind itself?
From what the notes suggest, the quest chain is designed for graduates and should be manageable. The whole point seems to be retention and acceleration. They're clearly willing to sacrifice that traditional mid-game gear grind to get returning players into high-end PvE and PvP much, much faster.
So if you have old PEN Tuvala sitting around.
This is probably the most direct path to relevance we've ever seen in the game. seriously, do these quests.
Got it. And there was another quick win mentioned too, right? A single-time season quest.
Oh yeah, single test.
Yeah.
For any season character that's level 56 or higher, you just need to kill 1,000 monsters, which you'll probably do anyway while leveling or grinding.
And the reward.
It's a stack of high-level Valk's advice scrolls. 1 plus 60, 1 plus 70, 1 plus 80, 1 plus 90.
Wow. Okay, that's basically free enhancement fuel. A huge help for hitting TET accessories or pushing for PN.
Absolutely. It's pure, unadulterated enhancement support, practically handed to you.
Okay, before we jump into the events fully, just a quick mention, new lore. Looks like they added story quests in the Edenia region.
They did, yeah. Focused around Jephoros Castle, dealing with some nature destruction there, and also apparently unveiling secrets tied to Arieli's Gate and the Haginsa sacred site. Feels like they might be laying groundwork.
Arieli's Gate. Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, the mention of Heaven's Gate seems deliberate. Could be hinting at a major future content drop linked to that area. Keep an eye on that.
Interesting thought. Okay, let's switch gears to the events section. This stuff is time sensitive, so definitely listen up if you're playing right now. First up, a big login event, full moon or Chuseok themed, running until November 5th. What's the main prize?
Cronstones. Lots and lots of Cronstones. It's a bonanza, really. If you log in consistently over the 21 days, the potential total you can get is 7,000 Cronstones.
7,000.
7,000. Specifically, you get 1,000 on day 7, 2,000 on day 14, and a massive 3,000 on day 21, plus other goodies like high-level Vox advice and a Chuseok outfit box.
Right.
But yeah, 7,000 crons is the headline. Perfect timing for using all that PEN gear you might be getting.
No kidding. That's a serious safety net for enhancing. All right, what about guilds? There's a big boost for guild activity until October 16th.
Huge boost. First, guild boss summons are doubled. So twice the chances for con or other boss payouts each week. Nice little silver bump.
Okay.
But the real moneymaker is the upgrade to the guild clearance quests.
Yeah.
The big ones. The rewards have been massively increased. It can offer up to 400 million silver in guild funds per completion now.
400 million per quest.
Per quest for the large ones. That's game changer for guild funding, payouts, infrastructure, everything.
Yeah.
And importantly, they've also broadened how guilds can earn. They added new life skill guild quests.
Ah, so it's not just combat anymore.
Exactly. They're encouraging collaboration beyond just killing mobs. These new quests involve things like fishing a certain number of yellow grade fish as a guild, hitting bartering goals, specific cooking tasks, stuff like that.
And they reward well.
Yep, they give both guild funds and those old moon life or combat tokens. So it fully integrates life skillers into the guild's wealth generation.
Yeah.
It's a really good change.
Nice. What else for life skillers? I saw something about hot time.
Yeah, there's a dedicated life skill boost running until October 16th as well. You get double the chance for those gathering minigames to pop up and double the mole appearance rate when you're farming. Just makes things a bit more efficient and potentially profitable.
Any direct buffs?
There is actually. While you're gathering, you have a chance to get a temporary buff called Event Spirit's Blessing. It gives life mastery plus 500, a bit of move speed, and some HP regen for 5 minutes. Pretty potent if you get it frequently.
Good to know. But wait, there was a catch on one of the hot times?
Right, quick note. The general plus 50% life EXP hot time is much shorter. That one ends October 2nd. Same for the combat hot time. The plus 50% item drop rate buff also ends October 2nd. So if you need the EXP or want to maximize drops, prioritize grinding in this first week.
Got it. Focus on EXP and drops early. The gathering farming perks last longer. Okay, one more event thing. Infinite potions. One net and odor.
Big news for anyone still grinding those. Until October 15th, the weekly quests that reward the materials. You know, Valtara's Memory, Narc's Comfort, the pity pieces they're giving out 3 times the usual amount.
Triple rewards.
Triple. That massively cuts down the time needed for arguably one of the longest, most notorious grinds in the game. If you combine that with the item drop rate hot time right now, well, this is probably the best window you'll ever have to finish your infinite pots.
Seriously, if you've been putting that off, now is the time. Okay, let's move to maybe the most debated part of any major patch. PvP class balance. This list looks huge, touches most classes. What was the thinking behind this wave of changes?
So the developers explicitly stated their goal was to correct some underlying imbalances in how damage was being calculated and applied. It wasn't just about nerfing the strong and buffing the weak necessarily.
Okay.
It was more about rebalancing damage distribution. They wanted to buff core skills on some classes that were underperforming, make them more viable parts of the rotation. And at the same time, tone down skills that offered maybe too much burst damage or too much damage from extreme range, especially safely. They're aiming for more stable back-and-forth combat.
All right, let's get specific. What are some key changes, and what do they mean tactically? Valkyrie Succession got some interesting tweaks.
Oh yeah, this is a big one for Valk engagement. Shining Judgment, that forward dashing skill. Two key things happen. First, you don't need to use shield chase for it anymore. Second, the cooldown got slashed from 14 seconds down to just 8.
Almost halved.
Exactly, so you can use it way more often. But the tactical shift is how it applies the stun CC. Now, you use it at close range, the dash part just stops immediately, and it applies the stun right there.
So it's not this long, potentially punishable dash animation anymore if you're close.
Right. It turns it from what could be a slow, risky engage into a fast, reliable combo opener. Much better for applying pressure quickly. Big mobility and threat increase for Succession Valk.
Makes sense. Okay, what about Dark Knight and Ran Awakening? They shifted some key skills from using float CC to using stun. Why is that significant in PvP?
It's all about combo reliability. Float can be finicky. Depending on latency or resists, targets can sometimes fall out of it quickly, dropping your combo. Stun, on the other hand, is generally a much more solid lockdown CC.
Right, gives you a longer window.
Exactly. So for skills like DK's Flow, Disperse Darkness, or Rand's Dance of Death and Dark Blade, changing the CC to stun means they have a more reliable way to lock down an opponent and guarantee that their follow-up damage actually lands. It just makes their control and kill potential more consistent.
Gotcha. And Succession Sorceress. Looked like a damage buff.
Yeah, a significant one for strong Dark Flame in PvP. The goal seems to be making it a core damage skill right alongside strong Dark Wave. So instead of relying primarily on one big hitter, Succession Sorc now has two potent options. Broadens their rotation, improves their burst potential.
Okay. And on the melee side, Berserker Awakening.
Simple but important change. Ground Smash now has super armor during its animation, which is huge for combo stability after landing a grab. You don't want your big damage follow-up getting interrupted, right? This helps ensure it goes off.
Definitely. Okay, lastly, the ranged classes. Archer, Dosa, Deadeye. Looks like they got toned down a bit.
Yeah, this seems to be part of that philosophy of reducing overly safe, high burst damage from range. Skills like Archer's Ground Splitter and some of Deadeye's Little Devil skills had their PvP damage reduced or rebalanced.
So less nuke potential from afar.
Kind of. The damage isn't just gone, it's often redistributed to other, maybe less used skills in their kit. The idea is likely to force these classes to maybe engage a bit more, use their full rotation, or take slightly more risks, rather than just relying on one or two massive long-range shots to heavily influence a fight, pulling the danger a bit closer.
Interesting balancing act. Okay, before we wrap up, just quickly. PvE grinding spots in Edania saw some tweaks, and quality of life?
Yeah, minor but nice flow improvements for high-end spots. Jepharos Castle, the gimmick, the bonus thing there, it starts 60% faster now, but the duration is 20% shorter. Encourages faster clearing, less downtime waiting.
Okay.
And at Thenebrum Castle, those 4 slate altars you need to interact with, they now just summon automatically 10 seconds after you enter the main area. It just smooths out the start of the grind there.
Good stuff. And the big QLL change for that whole region.
No more compass needed for navigation in Edania. Well, excluding Land of the Morning Light, that's separate. But for the main Edania continent, you can now just use regular auto-pathing, and it'll direct you straight to the Magnus Well in the Higgins' sacred site. Finally.
Oh, thank goodness. That was always a bit annoying.
Yeah. Removes a persistent travel headache for anyone going to those newer zones. Improvement. So yeah, if we boil this whole massive September 25th patch down, you've got unprecedented gear acceleration, PEN boss gear handouts, the Tuvala X trade for basically PEN God-eyed level stuff. You've got huge strategic enhancement help with those 7,000 Kron stones and massive guild fund boosts. And critically, a major PvP balance shakeup trying to deepen combat across the board.
Right. So what this all means for you listening, well, if you were holding off because the gear grind felt like hitting a brick wall, or maybe you felt your main class was lagging behind in PvP, this patch is basically screaming, now's the time.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a clear signal. They're supporting faster growth and trying to level the competitive playing field at the same time. Everything seems aligned to help you push past those enhancement failures and get you into the content you want to play. Okay, now here's a final thought to chew on while you're exploring all this new stuff, especially in Edania. Those new lore quests, they specifically mention finding secrets about Arieli's Gate, Heaven's Gate, near that Haginsa sacred site, the place we can now easily navigate to.
Yeah.
We just saw them drastically lower the gear barrier to entry. But what kind of challenge, maybe what kind of hidden enhancement wall, or even world-changing event do you think this Heaven's Gate might be preparing everyone for? Something to think about while you're enjoying that nice 7,000 cronstone injection. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join us again for another great analysis. Thank you.